Hey Scorpio, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for tuning into your stages of no contact and what your ex is thinking tarot reading. This will be a general 3-card spread, having a look to see where your ex is currently at. In particular, if you have not had direct contact with them, so no messaging, no phone calls, no contact, blocked each other on social media, or just completely have given each other the silent treatment. So this reading could be insightful in the sense where it could indicate to us where your ex is currently at in terms of dealing with the breakup, regardless of who broke up with whom. Please remember this is a general reading, but I do hope it's going to give you some sort of relief or insight, knowing where they're currently at and what they're thinking about. So if you enjoy this reading, please feel free to leave behind a like, a share, or even subscribe and hit the bell notification button. That would be absolutely appreciated. Otherwise, let's jump into the reading, Scorpio, and see what's coming up in terms of where your ex is at. So Scorpio exes, what stage are they at and what are they thinking? Scorpio, okay. Okay, this is powerful. This person is currently revisiting memories of you. There's a sweetness here, and the sweetness has come from the children and also the Knight of Cups. I think for a lot of you Scorpios, there's someone here, look, they might still be early on in the stage of breaking up. I mean, I don't really want to put a time frame on it here, Scorpio, but overall, the gist of the cards are telling me there's someone that's actually missing you or growing very, very nostalgic. Why? Because the Six of Cups can represent sentimentality, nostalgia, revisiting memories, revisiting the past, but it's revisiting the good times. So it's almost like this person is thinking about the fond memories. What's also very powerful here is that the Ace of Pentacles has come up here, Scorpio. No, I definitely feel there's someone here who is going to offer you another chance at this relationship or wants you to make that offer. You know, the Ace is all about the next chapter, and I definitely feel with that past card, the Six of Cups often representing the past, a past lifetime, a past relationship, and that Ace is telling me there's someone who wants that back with you. Now, I definitely feel in terms of anger or resentment, I feel like this person is passing through or has passed through those sorts of stages. I definitely feel they still have a few emotional hurdles to climb, as indicated by the mountain that still lies ahead for the Knight of Cups. So they're still in the early stages, but I feel like they're in the early stages of missing you or in the early stages of overcoming that last mountain, because you can see the Knight of Cups, he's walked that barren land, he's about to cross that river, and he's about to go up that mountain here, and he's determined to do it. So I definitely feel like someone is working through their emotions about you. But these children to me are really standing out as a message here that this person is very much missing you, and they're hopeful that you'll reconciliate, or at least you can reconcile, or at least if you don't end up reconciling, they're hoping they can be friends with you or maintain civility. So not have spitefulness, not be angry at each other, not yell at each other, not get into an argument when you see each other. It's a very peaceful image. Just center on that image for a moment here, Scorpio. It's very peaceful. There's blue skies. The children are here. The flowers are blossoming. You know, there's a beautiful, sweet exchange of the flowers, whether they're being given or received. I definitely feel in some way this person wants to exchange pleasantries with you. They're either hoping you'll bump into each other, hoping that one of you will make an offering. You know, the hand of God is extending from the clouds. So I do feel like they're attaching a lot of hope to this. I think there's someone here who's surpassed the stages of relief and anger and resentment and elation. And I feel like they're coming up to a sense where they're missing you. They're not at the stage where they're really weighing things up, but I feel like they are understanding the impact that it's having on their life not having you around, because they miss that. They miss the familiarity, they're missing the romance, they're missing the company, because what feelings do you associate with a child? Innocence, harmony, happiness, bliss, thinking in the moment, acting in the moment, you know, not plagued with anxieties of what they're going to be doing in a week or a month's time. It's a very, you know, they're really caught up in these nostalgic moments. They're really just caught up in missing you, I feel. They're definitely working on themselves emotionally. They still have a few emotional barriers to cross. With the Knight of Cups here, they understand it's hard. And the fact, let's look at that Knight of Cups for a moment here, Scorpio. The Knight of Cups sees the mountain, but he's prepared to climb it anyway. I really feel like someone's understanding your value. They might have not valued you before, Scorpio, or failed to express this value or make you feel valued. But I feel like they see it now. I think they underestimated how hard it's going to be to get over you for some reason. Regardless of how long or short this attachment, connection, relationship, marriage was, Scorpio, I sense that they underestimated something here. Why? Because the mountain is here. And this is a medieval deck. Okay, the symbolism here can be seen as the land of Canaan, Israel. The mountain is where the gods dwelt, okay, in mythologies, yes, but also in the Christian realm, in the Judaic tradition, in the Christian Bible, God dwelt on the mountain here. You know, you can think of Mount Sinai. These were very, important points. So, and and looking at that symbology for a moment, just what came to mind was, this person is coming up to a major epiphany, I feel, about you and about how important you were to them. And I think that's when they're going to really start to miss you. And what's interesting is that the top of the mountain here is very, very important. Okay, I'm reading it in a, I guess I'm interpreting it in a religious value. Whether or not you're religious or not, Scorpio, just follow me on this train of thought for a second. The top of the mountain is very, very important, for on top dwell the gods, the powerful, the mighty. This is why in the mythologies you see the ancient ziggurats of Babylon that built up, the temples of the ancient Maya, the temples that built up to be closer to God. And I feel like the Knight of Cups is approaching that, and that's a very important stage. It's a very influential stage. For those familiar with the Genesis story, of Moses leading the Israelites, he takes them, he leads them, he stands on top of the mountain and reads forth the 10 Commandments. It's a very pivotal stage. It's a very life-turning stage. So essentially, to make a long story short, what I'm trying to get at here, Scorpio, is that this person is coming up to a major climax about you. And I feel like they're going to feel things for you that they didn't think were possible, and they're really going to have some sort of major spiritual epiphany. Also, look at the way the cards flow. This is a Christian deck, but the cloud, God, especially in the Judaic and the Christian tradition, God shows up as a cloud. I guess more in the Judaic tradition, God's symbolism was forming up in a cloud. He made his presence known through a cloud that would adorn the temple of Solomon, the temple of Herod. So, interestingly, this has come up. Call it divine intervention, an act of God, law of attraction, your spirit guides, your angels, but there's something very powerful, I think, that's about to take place for this person. It's also very spiritual, has a lot to do with faith and trust and value, and it's more diverted to you. I think in terms of what they're thinking of, this person right now, maybe not right now, maybe they're still getting to that point here, Scorpio, but they're going to get to a point where they're going to have some sort of final climactic or final realization about you. For a lot of you, this realization that this person is going to have is going to turn into an offer of a new relationship. The Pentacles is all about stability, and it happens in the physical realm. This person isn't only thinking about it and emotionally going through it, Scorpio. For a lot of you, this person is going to reoffer something in the physical. Exclusivity, a reunion, a date, an exchange of some kind. It's going to become present in the physical. And they might even do that. They might show up at your work, show up on your doorstep, show up at a place where you frequent. It could be an unexpected meeting, at least what you'll think is an unexpected meeting, but this has been planned. Why? Because that major spiritual or emotional, moment at the top of the mountain here for this person, yeah, it's getting you there. You know, the peak of the mountain is also present here. There's a doorway. There's someone here who wants to reconcile. Now, whether or not you'll reconcile for the long term, or whether or not it's for closure, whether or not it's just to be friends or maintain, you know, get rid of all the bad energy, the toxicness that you had potentially in the relationship. The reasons behind their course of action here, the intentions, you know, is obviously going to be very different for a lot of people watching. And I wish I could say to you, to every specific situation, how it's going to pan out. But because this is a general reading and this is what the 3 cards are showing, I definitely feel for a lot of you, this person is going to have a major epiphany, and you may or may not come to learn of this, whether they tell you, whether they show you, whether something is done or you feel it. You know, you're very intuitive, Scorpio. So that could most certainly happen. And then suddenly that's going to shift things really much for them. I definitely feel like this person is at a stage where they're hoping to reconcile or wanting to reconcile. There's a childlikeness to them though. But, you know, as much as with children it brings harmony and happiness and peace and things like that, children are also impulsive. They're also developmental. They have a lot of lessons to learn. They're experimental. They could be experimenting with you here. I don't think it's necessarily in a manipulative sense. I think it's that they're acting on their emotion and this is how they feel. I definitely feel they still care for you. They feel quite hopeful for some sort of exchange or the blossoming of new romance or maintaining contact in some way. But there could be a little bit of impulsiveness that you might see from them as well. So, I mean, that might not be for everyone, but it could definitely be for some Scorpios watching. So, look, I hope this has been helpful for you. If you have enjoyed this reading, please feel free to leave behind a like, a share, or a subscribe. And I'm sure I'll catch you very, very soon. So take care, everyone, and bye for now.